The movie opens with a scene of a man and a lady on a date by the pool. Their conversation reveals that they are both lifeguards at the park and that their names are Cindy and Brad. Instead of leaving the facility when their shifts are up to go home, they stay to hang out and cuddle on top of the water slide. Soon later, someone arrives with a machete and their love adventure goes sour, resulting in a cruel death that leaves their bodies dismembered. In the next scene, we see the 2018 Valley Hills High School graduates preparing to hold their graduation ceremony. They have decided to host the event in Wet Valley, a water park. Alice, a graduate of Valley Hills High School who also came up with the concept for the entire event, was the one who proposed the idea. All the seniors are looking forward to spending time together, just like they do at every previous graduation celebration. Not only would they be able to swim and go down slides, but they also intend to spend 3 days at the water park. Josh, our main character, is now presented to us. The Blades, a school band he founded with his buddies Chad and Slim, would play at some point during the event. Conrad, an elderly man, approaches them afterward. He explains to them that he works at the water park as both a maintenance technician and a caretaker. He has worked there for 35 years and is still alive and well. A few hours later, Josh runs into his ex-girlfriend Kim, who is now a lifeguard as he is practicing with his friends. Kim's current boyfriend Tommy seems envious of Josh and Kim when they engage in casual conversation. Well, if you give it some thought, it very much makes sense as to why he would think that, considering the way his girlfriend handled her ex-boyfriend. In the following scene, Josh, the main character, calls Michael, who is first introduced. Josh purposefully invites his father to watch him perform at the water park during the phone chat. Then Priscilla, one of the park's managers, is presented to us. She graduated from Valley Hills High School in 1992. Slim claims that he overheard a student gossip about Priscilla allegedly picking a graduating class each year to have sex with. The majority of the class is currently taking advantage of the water park's main draw, a collection of extremely tall and lengthy water slide tunnels. Everything seems normal so far, at least until a group of rowdy teenagers decide to slide down the slide while holding a bottle of alcohol. As a result, one of them was harmed when he collided with a glass bottle being held by the other. Paul, the owner of Wet Valley, is prompted by the occurrence to act, and Conrad, the keeper, cleans the pool of glass and blood. Kim and Tommy manage to run across Josh, who is hanging out with Chad and Slim in the afternoon. Tommy is summoned by Josh's buddies, who ask him to look for a cord extension. Josh decides to take advantage of his chance to be alone with Kim in a different location while Tommy is occupied setting up the speaker and microphone connections. Kim and Josh begin hooking up secretly and alone behind Tommy's back. Josh's father and Priscilla are having supper at the same time. They are initially shown talking, but we, the viewers, are unable to understand them at first. We discover from their talk that Priscilla is the spouse of Paul, the owner of Wet Valley, and that Michael, Josh's father, is a well-respected local businessman. Michael remarks at dinner that Paul is overlooking a fantastic thing that is right in front of him. After some time has passed, Josh and Kim are approaching their pals just as his band is about to take the stage. They are being observed by a number of their classmates, and one of them predicts that something bad will happen to them. The Blades, who are performing 80s songs, are currently entertaining everyone. Josh's singing is mocked by Kim, who is watching, who also criticizes the loud noises their instruments generate. Priscilla and Josh's father were also present to see Josh perform. Tommy hasn't realized that his girlfriend Kim has cheated on him with Josh. It soon transpires that one of the seniors had videotaped Josh and Kim having a sexual encounter and had posted the clip in the class group chat. When Tommy views the footage, he becomes understandably enraged. Tommy sprinted up to the stage and punched Josh in front of everyone. When Priscilla discovers her husband having an affair with Alice, the girl at the opening of the film, things take a turn for the worse. Later, Josh, Michael's son, approaches him and tries to soothe him. Then he seeks Josh's opinion on his proposal to buy the water park. Alice is secretly listening in, and she hears everything. She then goes in search of Paul and chastises him for negotiating to sell the water park. Alice, Paul's mistress, is uneasy because she thinks he might leave her after receiving the money he gets from the deal. Paul, who is drunk, promises her that he will never sell the water park because it is his sole source of income. One individual breaks into one of the water slides and installs a pair of big metal blades that are positioned in an X form inside. A few hours later, all the seniors are asleep for the night and nobody else is outside. The following day, As Michael is exploring the region and being followed by a mysterious figure, further piques a viewer's interest. After receiving a leg shot, Michael is hauled to a shed. Cindy and Brad's bodies are also within the shed. These are the two horny teenagers who were slashed at the beginning of the movie. Conrad, the park's caretaker, cleans the water that pours down the slides after lunch. Although Priscilla, another employee, works there, she chooses to spend her time hooking up with Slim rather than doing her job at this moment because no one is aware of the metal blades inside one of the slides. All of the seniors are eager to take part in a fun tournament that will award a $500 prize in the afternoon. Teams would compete to see who could slide down the water slides the quickest. Josh naturally joins forces with Chad and Slim. Slim, meanwhile, is still untraceable. Instead, they encounter Tommy, who, despite having lost his job, appears out of nowhere and approaches them. Tommy informs them that he is now a visitor rather than an employee and that he is also participating in the tournament. The other seniors seem to dislike the concept and will not permit him to participate. Josh and Chad decide to ask him to join them because Slim is still nowhere to be seen. Tommy, who had nothing else to do but wait about, soon picks up on the problem. He observes a water trail dripping from one of the slides. Additionally, he discovers scraps of the water slide's construction, indicating that the slide has holes in it. Conrad is relaxing by the pool while the seniors are lining up to climb the slides. He is waiting for the competition to begin. Tommy, who is now persuaded that one of the slides has been tampered with, starts to try to stop everyone from going down the slides. Sadly, the seniors ignore him because they already view him as a ruiner of good times because of what he did the other night. The contest was going to start in a few minutes. Priscilla interacts with the guard, Conrad, to make sure everything happens as planned. Naturally, neither are aware of the blades that have been inserted inside a slide. Tommy is persistent. He continues to make an effort to warn Paul and Priscilla that everyone is in danger. Unfortunately, no one takes him seriously, and the contest begins. Tommy was even shoved down the slide by one of the irate seniors. 3 girls are sliding down the same slide at the same moment, and as would be expected, the blades swiftly mutilate them. Following the descent of severed limbs, the water exiting slide number 3 below has turned red. Conrad runs down from his lifeguard seat and sprains his ankle while the other guests scream in despair. Tommy, who had earlier been pushed down the slide, is now getting close to the metal blades. There is nothing he can do but cross his fingers and hope no one follows him down the slope. Conrad tells Priscilla to halt the competition at the same time. Moreover, their walkie-talkies aren't functioning properly. So Priscilla urges Paul to slide down while blissfully oblivious to the mayhem below. Josh runs upstairs at this point and orders everyone to stop sliding. Paul continues to tumble down the slide while making an effort to stop. The 2 senior girls and Tommy, who are already squeezed down the blades, are further compressed and perish in the meantime. Nobody undoubtedly anticipated that all of this fun and games would end up being so violent. Conrad urges Chad and Kim to turn off the water pumps in the shed amid the commotion. They discover Josh's father, Michael, and the 2 lifeguards' bodies after entering the shed. Paul can no longer hang on to the slides due to the swift water current. He tumbles to the ground and is slashed by the terrifying blades. Josh learns from a lawyer after the massacre that his father has left him a sizable inheritance. The sale of the Wet Valley Water Park, which his father had intended to demolish to make room for a $20 million shopping center, has not yet been finalized, though. Paul, the business owner, also died in the tragedy. Thus, Priscilla is the only one who gets the proceeds. Priscilla smiles as the movie comes to an end, then recalls the time her father was murdered in this park without anyone even trying to help. We can infer that Priscilla is responsible for the 2018 catastrophe. She probably devised this complex scheme, possibly as a form of retaliation and merely to obtain an inheritance. And with that, the movie ends.